everybody, and welcome to another edition of Browns Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, but you can call me Grizzer. A lot of people do, and this is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news and tidbits that are tied to our favorite team in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns. As you can see, it's just me and the Shadors still. We're still on location out of the Browns Latest studio for a couple of more days, but thank you to everybody who has liked our previous episodes. Everyone who has subscribed to the channel. When we get to 12,000, we will change the fit for just one show. We'll give the orange quarter zip a rest. This time, because it's 12,000, we're bringing in the 12 jersey. The Shador jersey is coming in. And then thank you to everybody who has gotten your comments down there in the viewer comments section. Can't thank you enough. Coming up on today's show, as good as the Bills are, we could take advantage of one glaring weakness that they have. Myles Garrett's rewriting the record book when it comes to sacks. But there's another stat he's compiled this year that shocked even me. I asked AI, why should Kevin Stefanski be fired? And you won't believe what it spit back. And in the viewer comments, the biggest problem with the team. We're going to have to find out what that's all about. Going to have to wait till the end to see what's going on there. But first things first, Buffalo versus the run. Look, I feel like I say this every week, the team we're playing, that if we can run the ball, we can beat them. And again, this is one of those situations. As good as Buffalo is, they cannot stop the run to save their life. Look at these numbers. 143 yards per game, 122 the last three, 30th in the NFL. Only the Giants and the Bengals are worse than the Bills at stopping the run. And so, and they're tying it to a lot of different problems. I mean, it's missed tackles, it's coaching things. They went out and got Shaq Thompson from Carolina to help shore this up. It's gotten a little bit better since then, but not much. 143 a game, and then down to 122 the last three. So you can run the ball on Buffalo, and if you're doing that, you're keeping Josh Allen and that high-powered offense off of the field. So that has to be the recipe to win for the Browns this week against the Bills. Now, we like Buffalo. Been to Anchor Bar, took the kids to Anchor Bar back in the day, go over to Niagara Falls, all that stuff. But we got to beat the Bills. We have to beat the Bills. We don't like Buffalo this week. Now, one guy who will be instrumental in making that happen will be Myles Garrett, who's having a career year when it comes to sacks. But, man, I stumbled across another stat that he's compiled this year that even surprised me. Take a look at this. So on top of all of the sacks, he's appeared in at least 10 games every single season he has played. At least 10 games, which in this day and age is almost unheard of. He's played in at least, this is even more unheard of. Since 2021, he's played in at least 16 games in every season. And he's about to endure his 7th losing season in his 9-year career. In 9 years, he has played at least 10 games in every single season. So the thing with Myles is this. If you talk about a guy who earns his money, it's Myles Garrett. I mean, they just gave him that big contract, but he goes out there and earns it. He will set this record. There's a good chance he will set the single season sack record against the Bills on Sunday. And so, when I saw that, though, that just tells you everything you need to know about Myles. Going out there, playing hurt, doing whatever he can to help the team. But unfortunately, again, though, it always comes back to the quarterback. You have to have a quarterback. If you don't have a quarterback, you have nothing. We had a stud left tackle for years. That got us nowhere. We have a stud defensive end, and right now it's not getting us to the Super Bowl. And what could be the difference? Oh, yeah, coaching. So, come on. Everybody knows what the problem is. The problem is the coaching. And Kevin Stefanski needs to be fired. And so I thought, okay, maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe it's a little too much. Maybe I need to ask somebody else for their opinion. And so I said, okay, how about artificial intelligence? Let's go there. Artificial intelligence knows everything, right? So I asked artificial intelligence about Kevin Stefanski and why Kevin Stefanski should be fired. And some of the stuff we hear all the time came up. Criticism about his play calling and all that. I guess the AI hasn't been reading the newspapers and doesn't know that he gave up the play calling. But also mentioned his predictable tendencies and cutesy designs that often fail in high leverage spots. See the rookie tight end quarterback sneak. But here's the other thing. This was dead on. And this is straight from AI. AI says repeated issues with situational management, red zone inefficiency, and the offense beating itself with mistakes contribute to a perception that the team is poorly prepared. That execution and discipline problems at this point in we're at the end of year 6 now, a coaching problem rather than just a player problem. So even artificial intelligence knows this is a problem because of the coach. It's all about execution. And, this is something that I talk about with my son Tobin, who he's a character performer. He's a team member at Universal and a cast member at Disney. And, he sees it firsthand. And he's been in a number of different types of shows, and from anything from Broadway type shows to dinosaur shows he would put on for kids with a company that he worked for. So he's seen it all. But it starts and ends with execution. Here's a shot of, there's Toby and I down there when he's got a day off from Universal. Boy, I tell you what, it would be so cool to be able to talk to him about this and do some viewer comments just about execution and doing things right. And look at that! There he is!
Hey, what's up, guys?
There's Tobin. Tobin is here, and he's going to do some viewer comments with us. But Tobin, we've talked about this all the time. Like when you talk about a football team and all of the different moving parts on a football team, like every single individual has a job to do. It's like putting on a show.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There was actually a time when I was still in college, so for me, basically like last week, we actually talked about the similarities between like sports and theater and the question of what makes theater, and there are a lot more similarities to both the arts and sports than one may think. So it's a great take that you bring that up, honestly.
Absolutely, and it starts like with the leadership at the top, right? With your directors or your producers, or in this case, your head coach.
Absolutely, and then not only that, but we also have stage managers. We have, our cast and crew, like stuff like that. So it really does make, it takes a village, I believe is what the phrase is. So it takes everyone to work together, but you are right. It does start at the top.
It does, and you have to bring it all together. You want to do some viewer comments with us?
I mean, I'm already here. Might as well.
All right, let's go. So Muscle Man 2025. Muscle Man. Now, we're a big fan of the cartoon called Regular Show. And Muscle Man is one of our favorite characters. He's got this big guy, and he's got this weird voice that he does. You can do the voice?
I mean, I don't know if I could do the voice, but I might do something similar.
Okay.
So, I can read the question.
Okay.
All right. What do you think the biggest problem with the team is, since it looks like we finally have a quarterback to build around? Now, you know who else has a quarterback to build around? My mom!
That's Muscle Man's catchphrase. You know who else has it? Every single time. And here's what I'll tell you, Muscle Man. The biggest problem with the team is the coach. And, you can throw in the wide receiver core. It's everything on the offensive side of the ball. That is the biggest problem with the team. And that has to be rectified. And it starts with firing Kevin Stefanski. Okay, All Muddy Law 703 is next.
All right. He says, man, that O-line is full of Uber drivers minus Batonio right now. Cam Robinson is a joke.
Now, remember, I told you when they signed Cam Robinson that if he was any good, he would be somebody's left tackle. and he wasn't really, he was just a body. And so that's what I mean. Like, even the people they've gone out and gotten this year, hasn't, they really haven't panned out. I mean, on the offensive side of the ball. And so that is the one thing. Well, Barry's had a great draft this year. Andrew Barry, the general manager of the Cleveland Browns, he draft every rookie he brought in. It's like a freshman class he brought in, and they've all been phenomenal. It's crazy. And this is the first time this has happened. And so, but a lot of people hated Andrew Barry up until this season, but now we're everybody's not sure. They're like, okay, maybe he does know what he's doing. But the problem with Barry also is when you bring in a free agent, you sign somebody from another team whose contract's up or something. These guys never pan out. I don't know. They're just. I always say he goes to Dollar General and starts. He goes to Dollar General and then looks in the bargain bin at Dollar General for these guys. That's how bad it is. And so, but no, that's you're absolutely right. Almighty law for sure. Now we got a question about the Heisman Trophy winner. The Heisman. What does Mark Smith say about the Heisman Trophy winner?
He says, the Heisman Trophy winner's stats were not better than Shador, despite having a great all-around team. Make it make sense that he should be a number 1 pick and replace Shador.
There's no way to make that make sense. Shador's got better. I mean, he does have a great team, and they beat Ohio State and all of that. Talking about Mendoza. But we don't need to go that route. We need to take what we have and build around it, right? It's like you have Hugh Jackman is going to be in your next production. You've got Hugh Jackman.
Love Hugh Jackman.
Right? Do you need to go out and get, Tom Cruise too? And spend all that money?
I mean, if it's not necessary for the project, I don't think it's necessary for the project.
And that's where we're at. We got a guy we can build around and do that. And so it just doesn't make any sense. No impressions and no Heisman and Trophy. Stewie, anybody?
Stewie, what would he even say? Oh yes, the Heisman Trophy winner's stats were not better than Shador, despite having a great all-around team.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's perfect. That's good. Now he does do a good JFK, and this goes back to there's a Family Guy or a Simpsons character who would always talk like JFK. So, Kadena 1734 JFK. What does Kadena want to know?
Kadena says, what about the Browns' victory you were so sure of last Sunday?
Well, unfortunately, Kadena and JFK, it turned into a loss. And so, look, I find ways for us to win, and I'm a Browns fan, so I fully expect them to win. The prediction pen even thought they were going to win. I do a thing on Saturdays with the prediction pen. Mm-hmm. The prediction pen even said they were going to win last week. It didn't happen.
Look, all I'm going to say is, ask not what the Browns can do for you. Ask what you can do for the Browns.
See, that's what I'm saying. All right, now we got one more. We always end on a good one.
Okay.
Do you have a good impression? Do you want to throw out another impression with this one?
Good impression.
Or any what's your go-to?
Oh man,
he does a lot of good Family Guys and things like that. And or how about he was in a production of Bat Boy. Does a very good English accent.
Oh, well, no, I already did the British with the Stewie. How about a classic? Especially since you mentioned me being a cast member and everything. There's one actor who is brought back for a lot of roles for Disney, and that's Patrick Warburton. Family Guy and everything. You may know him as Kronk and everything from Emperor's New Groove, or Joe from Family Guy, but he's in a lot of good stuff. So I feel like that might be a bit of a good one.
All right, so here we go. LLR Ohio, FM 6479. Here you go.
Gris, I don't mean to alarm you, but you look a little under the weather, Gris. I hope you're feeling okay.
It's funny. I appreciate the concern, LLR. I really do, but I'm feeling fine.
Look, his words, not mine. I can't really say anything about his health.
I'm doing fine. It's bad lighting. I mean, we got some bad lighting here. We're out of the studio. We're up here with the doors, and so just trying to make it work. So bad lighting is key. Well, you would know that, right? When you're putting on a show.
Oh yeah. I mean, I used to do lighting design back when I was still in college and everything. I actually was assistant lighting designer for a full production of what was it?
I remember that.
Proof. It was Proof. That was some of my good lighting work, as well as Bloom. Bloom was the other one when I did all the lighting and literally everything else for it. But yeah, I mean, lighting does make a difference. I'm sure like a lot of people taking their selfies know, like golden hour, stuff like that. What are the kids saying these days, you know?
6'7". Like
6'7", 6'7".
Is that what they're saying?
Unfortunately.
There have been a lot of 6'7" references the last couple of days.
I mean, about like 6 or 7 references, I mean.
Oh, there you go. See, but no, I'm fine. Everything is fine. like it's just bad lighting. That's all I can attest it to. Like the health is fine. Now I say that when when we get back to the studio, I'll probably be sick. So
No, exactly.
there you go. That's how we do the show. You see that?
Well, I'm glad I was able to help out, read some viewer questions, say some theater stuff because it's like, my whole career right now. So
we're very proud. Any other last minute impressions? Anything off the top of your head that anything? I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm gonna put you on the spot.
I'm like totally blanking.
I just remember
right
we did a couple of like family contests, and he would always go to the Family Guy stuff. And
like the family talent shows or whatever. Yeah,
he would nail it. So all right, now one thing we do at the end of the show, we have a little catchphrase.
Okay.
I always say, "Go Browns, we'll see you next time."
Okay.
Would you like to either take the Go Browns part or the see you next time part? What would you like to?
You're more the Browns guy. I'll have you take Go Browns.
Okay, and then you got to see you next time.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. All right, that'll do it for today's show. Thanks so much for joining us. Go Browns!
And see you next time.
There you go.